Whew. La 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 la. Here I be. There I go. InShalla and Ashe. Blessings to you, my energetic beings. I just love saying that out loud. But we have the luck of the Irish today, plus a blessed spring day, a full moon, a nodal shift. Just truly some galactic blessings happening. But the actions we take to create our inner activations of our enlightenment frequency, the codex, and we all have one. And having a knowing that this full moon, this worm moon, the Virgo full moon, just may bring that motivation, which I'm super excited for. Look at this talk. There we go. It's going to bring that motivation into our emotional field to activate our spiritual directive. But with that, welcome to today's Daily Snippet. Once again, I am your host, a practicing holistic Sha'medium, a subtle energetic surgeon. Merging these indigenous technologies, the spirit of the Dagara tribe through cowrie shell divinations from Burkina Faso with the subtle energies, elements, elemental beings, basically going from the elemental realm into the imaginal realm with offerings, rituals, and prescriptions to add to your juice, your personal container. My intention is truly to merge these indigenous technologies, the wisdom of Africa with the subtle realms, the etheric highway to assist you into navigating your prime directive, what is also called your inner genius, just reintroducing you to and through the magical being that resides within you. My name is Tonya D, and welcome to my virtual medicine room. And if you haven't already, please be kind and do subscribe to my YouTube channel. Everything's kind of Tonya D if you haven't noticed, but go ahead and hit the bell button so you are notified. And also, if you don't mind, liking the video, commenting, sharing, so the YouTube algorithm will echo me out to suggest me really to other like-minded musers like yourself in the galactic universe, along with other social channels like Instagram, TikTok, and my podcast, Musing with Tonya D, which my Otherworldly podcast, The Ancestors, is out right now, along with my Musing Moon meditation. And also, if you're curious or ready to explore the elemental realm, Voices of the Otherworld, my online immersion, is out as well. What does that even look like, right? But this is the elemental highway for me. And coming up next is the realm of nature. And we all have nature about us, an innate nature, a unique frequency that we all vibrate out from our authenticity, our soul, nature cycles, as do we. So if you feel called, answer that call, pick it up and join me, and I will see you on the other side for that as well. But with the wills of spirit flowing truly, and being that we have the ability to put the stage in motion or getting on the stage, are you seeing the stage of your spiritual life starting to manifest, holding the line, that sacred space, the threads of fate? And again, my Musing Moon meditation is online in the corridor, so be sure to check that out as well, because we're moving in the thread waves. And if you are new to my musings, you can follow me on a variety of those social channels. Just simply Google Tonya D, whatever fits your realm, or make it easy and just subscribe to my musing newsletter, tonyad.tv. You can find it there. And I shared a magical ritual on yesterday's muse. It's as if the elemental realm was beaconing in, just downloading through all the channels. So it's like our karmic soul is integrating our past memories, coming to the surface, bubbling up like a galactic wave or a bubbling spring. So anything that you might feel where you have failed or made a mistake over time and space, or just space and timelines, incarnations even. So our root center is part of what ties us to the realm of the earth, the Vivaxis, along with our Earth star. So it's our link of survival and being rooted, grounded, and being that our root center is online today, we might be aggressive in that Martian-like fiery energy, aggressiveness, Mars. So if you feel it all triggered, those are the threads of a past life karmic memory. And you probably could trace that back to your subconscious threads. But take a breath and take a pause as these insights come in, feel into where they're flowing, and you might feel as if you're kind of losing a battle. So in the action of giving some movement, really, you might see the release of that trigger and add some forgiveness, a great soother to our soul, like those river streams. And some of our transformation is going to be like literal, and some maybe just a little bit otherworldly. So you might be living a toxic situation or leaving a toxic situation within either your body, your mind, your soul, or even your spirit, just upcycling our spiritual exercises and creating a new venue, a new habit, or even a ritual, starting rituals if you are new to them. Anything that we are putting into motion and activating today, it's opening the door to change our life, creating the memoir of the life that we're actually meant to live. What does that look like? It's our inner genius, it's our soul's narrative, and it's echoing out into the galactic future. So it's in these initiation stages, even a ceremony, we can create and take the action, which then creates a chain of events that boosts the energy from the universe. So we got these cosmic waves. So it's like, is your spirit pushing you to initiate a shift? Nature is the season of transformation and change. And we also have the spring equinox in a few days. So, I really am feeling into my intuition channel, my feelings, sitting with my feelings. It's one of our kinesthetic gifts, actually, before taking the action. Plus being a reflector, waiting 28 days following the moon for my transmissions in human design. So if it's still in my threadways 28 days out, then it might be a thing. So I can't say I follow the fear train, the one where it's a sign up now, this is ending, the catastrophe is soon. Even my online venue, I'm not one to participate in that trend. It's all about answering the call. So when I say, do you feel the call? That's the memo. I'm not going to push you into creating an offering or jumping on that fear train. However, I do create monthly offerings at a savings for limited times, just based on the season and what I've called to offer. But I really am not one for the fear train. For today, though, not to go down that rabbit hole. And if you do, follow the white rabbit. Malidoma said that to me once when I was going out to the portals. He was like, follow the white rabbit. Super funny. But as a guideline for our full moon intentions, utilize your beliefs for the changes you wish to see in the world or your world, and focus on them, commit to them, even be devoted as you're engaged in your own spiritual essence, which we really all should be, really, right? In doing so. So this is the harvest from the seeds of our intentions that we planted yesterday, if you tuned in yesterday, just coming to their fullest growth in the fall, the Virgo season, 6 months from now. So literally take the positive route. Affirm the transformation of your unique destiny. The karma that's negative is ending. Just whoop, let it be gone. So it's in the past, and there is no such thing as a mistake. We learn. That's how we learn. So really pat yourself on the back. Actually, I would hug yourself in the mirror, the physical mirror in the bathroom, or the etheric mirror. That's my other favorite, or both, really. Quite self-hugs, cuddles, hugging ourselves. And no one is going to love us more than we should already be loving to ourselves, right? So we carry that frequency inside of us. It's also called the God spot, or the Otherworldly channel, the God channel, etc. However, to get us to the messages of today, I called in the Shadowscapes. And where am I? There we go. My Shadowscapes from the Etheric Highway. I kind of like the Etheric, but this is the 7 of Wands, which wands are the element of fire. The number 7 is spirit. And being that we are in the season of spirit, Pisces, I felt like it was fitting. And you can see these two vixens kind of facing off with each other. One is protecting her babies from beneath the curl of her protective tail there. So they're kind of circling and circling, which circles have symbols, right? But these two are kind of enemies, actually, and they're kind of sizing each other up, taking a little nip here, a little swat here, and kind of testing the reactions and kind of pressing those defenses, like who's going to win. So one vixen is actually snarling as another one's lunging forward. One's got those babies to protect, and she doesn't want to fail them. The fear burns in her heart, so her actions are more of a necessity. They're not merely just courage or being courageous. It's more about a selfless act for her babies with this kind of entanglement of thoughts and justification. So there's just this mere belief that makes her fight. She's fierce. She's 10 times more strong than her little opposing opponent there. But the wands are made of bamboo. These are yin energy, and they're fortifying strength and signifying that in with the courage. So the bamboo possesses this slender suppleness that kind of sways in the winds, and it doesn't break. It actually is this tenacious growing plant. It grows in a variety of directions, even in Utah in the winter. But it competes for sun, but it also competes for space. So the Seven of Wands represents taking a stand, defending what we believe in. And the world is full of this strife and stiff competition. So we really have to have courage to face the difficulties and the adversities that come our way. So it's a message not to buckle under the stiff wind and to sway like the bamboo. So, sometimes things seem like they're insurmountable and the odds are against us, but we can overcome those with faith and also with courage. But being that it's otherworldly, for me, it's like the heavens are raining down this message, and the courage is asking us to hold the faith. Spirit is with us. Even the difficulties that we are facing, the adversity, we have the courage, we have the strength, we have the community, we have the village, we have the ancestors to hold us in that adversity. So really call on the other world to assist you today. So that's kind of where we are coming from. Again, it's fitting that it's Spirit, Pisces, and we are nearing the beginning of Aries. So really carrying the faith from the season of Pisces to the next season in 2023, which is curious as well, right? And our next card, we have the Hermit. And the Hermit, and in human design, which I'm not really that fluent with, honestly, but I am a hermit role model according to human design. But we have the Hermit, which I can say being a hermit is quite fitting for me. But this symbolizes the number 9, which today, that is the number of today after we connect to our feelings and our spirit and our intuition, our psychic prowess. We get to act on that. So the Hermit is the seeker. He's the one who's turned his back to the noise and the light, the distractions of the world. In the city, it's like this fragile light of the stars are getting drowned out by the glare of the haze of our everyday life. But he's taking his lantern and being told by the wise woman that lantern is a bit of a captured star. It knows its way home. But this lonely beam of light kind of pulls him clear of the valleys and high above a glittering lake whose surface is liquid like a mirror. But his star lantern kind of opens the door, the path. He doesn't really know where it's going, but within each step and each light, and it's the next and the next and the next, that's where he's climbing to the distance. This pinnacle, it's clear of smog, the smog of humanity. He's retreating, and the air retains this fragrance that's spicy, it's pure. And he doesn't even know that he's missed it. A lot of times we don't, right? Until we breathe it in for the last time or the first time. Then it's as if our body aches for it. We can't live without it. That really is the breath of life. So others have been there before us and before him, and their steps are clear. There's no indication of their passage or somebody being there. So it's the nature of the place that each of us get to come to. Sometimes we feel like they are the only first, the only one, no others been there. It's like this visitation's been forgotten, but it's also this long journey. So it's during this course, this trek, this path, where his eyes finally become accustomed to the darkness of the wild. So he's leaving behind the memory of the city, the smog. The star is his lantern. It's burning hot, it's bright. And the star's sisters in heaven, the cosmos, they're swirling around in this joyous dance. So it's being introspective, it's seeking solitude, it's even withdrawing from the world, giving and receiving guidance. So the Hermit really is this inspirational friend, a teacher, somebody who helps illuminate the secrets of our own mind, something inside of us, something that's mysterious even, where it can become clear within the proper light and shine on a different situation. But the loons, they're gliding on those silent wings across the horizon there in the image. They're elusive shadows, they're the night. But they're also symbolic of peace and tranquility, which I love. So their eerily haunting cries, they echo across the waterways, if you will. But this is ancient wisdom. So loons are also, they're respected for their knowledge of the sky, the sea, the forest. They've been seen in headdresses of, when the stillness, the light shines out. That's super awesome, the Hermit. So it might, well, you can see the spiral there, but we have the Ace of Wands, another fire, the number 1, which is also the sun. 1 is the sun. It's our heart. So it's this possibility of creativity, excitement, adventure, the birthing, a challenge to kind of step forward, be courageous, have confidence. So it's like planting the wand firmly in the ground. It's blazing forward with this light, this crimson starlight, if you will. And it's this response of the flint. If we were to strike tinder, it's inspiration blooming from within that illumination. So I don't know if you can see the spirits and the sylphs. They're kind of coming out from their dwellings. They hide from the ordinary light. They're kind of indistinguishable from leaves and twigs and stones in the sky. But in this glow, they slip out. They stretch their wings. They sense that something is beginning. So there's this spark that's been lit with the flint. So there's a challenge. It's being whispered. There's this invitation. It's been extended out into the hour of the dawn, if you will. And once it's lit, the fire literally is unpredictable. It's difficult to control. It's this uncontained energy. It can flare into a raging wildfire. So this is like seizing the wild opportunity and the glory in the blaze. So these are the beings of fire. They're the guardians for the wands. It's the foxes, the cats, the lions, and they flash, they spark that intellect and the wits. And they've got these little fleeting bodies that dart through the world, these burning little flames of starlight. They're fierce, they're strong, they're spirit. So it's time really to take the action for these new beginnings, right? And I find it curious, we're heading into the season of Aries, which is number 1 in the chart, the first house, and birthing of the spring. But even being that it is otherworldly, we have the guidance of the universe directing our spirit, just sparking these insights and really listening to spirit today. That's kind of what I see in this card. And our intuition, paying attention to the signs, our gut instincts, our feelings. It's like, where in the body is this feeling felt? So it's going to light up our sun as well. So that's actually pretty curious. And then on the elemental highway, ding, 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 we have a Yin Earth Snake of a day, a Sai Yai or a Yai Sai. But Yang fire on the branch. So our day is controlled and it's weak. It's not able to combine with the rabbit and the tiger to support its growth. So the best case scenario, it would be if all 3, which they're there, Yang wood, Yang fire, and Yin water, which is right next to it. Yin water on the stem provides the moisture, which is actually essential for our day to be able to produce, to prevent the wood from becoming obsessive or excessive, either way, negative on both fronts. But the fire is needed to keep it under control. Fire also supports our day. It makes it stronger. However, if the fire is too strong or if it gets too strong, that's when we need the water, which we have, so our day doesn't become too hot, too thirsty. And being that our day has yang fire, this creates the satisfaction for yin earth in life. And the yang water turns our day into mud because there's a lot of it. And yang earth, even though it's the same element, that's going to weaken our day because there's too many rocks in the field. So you kind of have to look at this all metaphorically in a way. And again, earth people, at least yin earth, not the yang. Yesterday was the mountain. But yin earth are fertile soil. They're nurturing soil, which they create living creations to sprout within us. So meaning that these people, if you fall under a yin earth element, they're resourceful. They're also creative. They're natural born nurturers, coaches. They're highly adaptable, which allows them to make the most of everything that they have, no matter what life decides to dish out to them. They're resourceful and they love to see things grow. It gives them the highest pleasure. So being resourceful compared to all the other master elements, our day is deemed to have the greatest leniency, if you will. So these people have all the resources that we need or they need for almost anything. They're very resourceful. But sadly enough, oftentimes they undermine this skill. They tend to not see their worth unless somebody else makes them see it. their value. So they have these maternal instincts with their need to protect others, kind of the way a mother would nurture. So these people need to really take care of others, and they often put their public interests over personal ones, or the public, people outside their village, I guess. So these people, they're great. They can help. You can go to them and run to them for help when nobody else wants the burden. You can really count on them to push us through to the very last minute on whatever it is, a project, a situation. And they relish in mind-stimulating thoughts. So Yin Earth people, they love to ponder the philosophical questions, contemplate them. They seek the mental development, which is why they really are the ones that come up with the most innovative solutions, the otherworldly. So these people don't get lost in their thoughts. They literally see things clearly, and they have this ability to remember almost anything. They possess almost kind of photographic memories, the memoirs. Their memory retention is amazing. But this also can be like that double-edged sword, since they find it hard to forgive any wrongdoings that you might have done towards them. They're kind of worrywarts in that aspect as well. They can be controlling. They can also be possessive. They act based on their instinct. So these Yin Earth people, day masters, they go with their gut feeling, and they don't focus on the bottom line so much, because they're keen on seeking to their principles. So each time they need to make a judgment call, when asked to choose between profit or compromising their morals, their moral codes, they won't think twice about dodging a shady deal, which is interesting, right? So long as it doesn't go or violate their code of ethics, they literally will drop an opportunity without hesitation if they feel their integrity or these moral codes are in jeopardy. So they're kind of aristocrats, with or without reason. They really like to live a life of lady or gentlemanly, filled with luxury, comforts, and privilege. I know some Yin Earth people, and they really love that. They thrive on that, but they also thrive on sharing that as well. So as long as everything's all fine and everything can support them, their wealth. If not, they have to face some harsh realities and put their socks up if they really want to enjoy this dream life. So being that Yin Earth is refined, they have this refined taste, which they try to fulfill. So there's this certain wealth status that is a must for them. They also need to be productive. They're usually full of talents and all these resources. So they have to be used to be explored. So Yin Earth, like soil, can never be entirely exhausted. It always finds a way to replenish, to rebuild, to fill, and offer more in another cycle. So this energy can't sit idle. They can't wait for somebody to call them and ask them for help. It's at their core. It's their innateness to really assist people to grow. So conditions for a healthy Yin Earth person. Don't mind the rattling of my house. The neighborhood is getting rebuilt. So a Yin Earth person, if strong, it's born during the summer months, which I spoke to yesterday, but it's weaker during all of the other seasons. So an Earth person, if they're weak, which our day is, Yang fire, the sun, is needed to support them. When it's strong, Yin Earth will prefer the Yang wood, a forest, which we have, and those Yin waters, again, which we have, the rivers. Those are the elements to balance them. But it's interesting thing about Yin Earth is that they can never run out of water. Even in the driest of deserts, if you dig deep enough, there's going to be some moist soil, some sand, right? So these people are always resourceful, regardless of the elemental combinations or whether the chart is too hot. So just knowing that our day, these people born with this day master, Yin Earth, they are natural born teachers, coaches, nurturers, like soil that supports the growth of grass and trees. So these people provide resources for other people to grow. Some of the greatest sports coaches are really made of Yin Earth. That's their day master. Phil Jackson is one of them. So Yin Earth people are often sick, which usually they have a lot of allergies actually, and this is actually quite normal for them because the soil always has different life forms within it. So they're useful. For them, they need nutrition from plants. So the best way to treat Yin Earth people is with herbs. Their bodies react the best with organic life substances. And they're also specific when it comes to quantity, the size of it. You don't need a lot. So strong Yin Earth represents a big field, if you will, which can grow a lot of wood, the grass, which means that this person might have multiple careers, rich relationships in life, or both, combination of both. But our Yin Earth is small, it's kind of weak, so it might lack the capacity for that. But it is supported by the snake there, that's Yang Fire. So I would add some minerals to our soil today as we start to plant the seeds for our harvest. We've got the moon, right? The fullest expression of spirit becoming reality, the harvest, Virgo. So we also have the field, we got the soil. I would ground into wet earth if possible, get some potting soil, ground into it as you plant the seeds of your full moon reality, your Virgo intention, the root in that manifestation of that seed into the ground, rooting, because our root center is online, and just adding emotions to the mix. The juicy emotions of the peace and the joy, and we've got the Hermit of contemplation, the light of the star. So just be creative in your dream, your wishes, that calibration. Have some fun, be creative. Show me some images even of your full moon rituals, balancing our crown center. We're kind of dissolving negativity and we're heightening our intuition today. And it really is a day where we can enhance our psychic abilities, our intuition. So really listen and feel what spirit is delivering to set the stage, get things in motion. And we can always discern where the message is coming from. Ask questions, stay curious. Colors of red, even though it's a green day, like geraniums. I would wear green anyway. Not that I have it on, but our root center is red, so I was thinking of planting geraniums, right? Cranberries, apples, plant an apple tree. Pinks, that's a combo of the root and the crown. So really, it's any shade that blossoms inside of you that inspires you. And again, as far as the tonality for earth, I love the Mongolian rock band, the Who. It's that guttural throat sound, or the sound of metal. Those are the sounds that are needed. But all of them are in the show notes as well. But we also have the sound of the crown down to the root, or the root to the crown. So we've got some options. So we've got the Ong tonality of the crown down to the root, which is the Lam. I would feel into your feelings, feel into your intuition, and really allow the universe to be the lantern, the starlight, the ancient wisdom that's in our bones. So we're flowing into these streams of our prime directive, our inner genius. Be courageous, be bold. But I would affirm that I am in my heartfelt space, listening to the light of spirit, creating the seeds of my intention with my feelings. So the juice really is the feelings, right? So be optimistic as you watch these seeds grow into the bounty for the harvest. And every time you see the plant in which you are planting, it's like our subconscious mind literally activates that thread to see into the future. So just remember, don't be like that person who drinks too much and has the hangover and prays to God, please, I will never do it again, and then forgets what they asked for and they do it all over again anyway. When you say I will never do that again and you do it, it's like it's time for the memo. So just materializing those intentions from the realm of spirit and carrying them forward every time you see the plant, you get awakened to that intuition. So thanks for tuning in, liking, sharing, and subscribing. And as always, I will see you on the other side, InShalla and Ashe. Make it just a super juicy full moon, Irish spring kind of day.